That 1 lakh invested will become 17 lakh 44,940. There is a very simple rule which is known as the 50-30-20 rule. 7% return, that too tax free. Hey folks, CA Rachana Ranade here, and I welcome you to another episode of Master Your Money. Child's education, ticked. Now let us move on to child marriage. Child marriage means not child marriage, my child's marriage. Okay. So if I want to plan for that, I'm going to take a lot of effort to do that planning. But before we go on to that, just one small additional piece of information. If it's a girl child, there's an amazing scheme by the government which is known as Sukanya Samruddhi Yojana. It is a scheme which is backed by the government and it is only for girls. As the name suggests, it's a Sukanya Samruddhi Yojana. The minimum contribution that you have to make is 250 rupees per annum. It's like nothing for next 15 years. Okay, so let me repeat. Minimum investment is 250 rupees for the next 15 years. And you can get an access to Sukanya Samruddhi Yojana account after the age of 18 years. So it will not happen that you are investing in your child's name and when she becomes a teenager, she knows, hey, mommy has put in a lot of money in my account, let me splurge that. That will not be possible. Because until and unless my girl becomes 18 years of age, she will not get an access to this account. So the money is also safe in the parents' hands. Right. So with that, let us move on to the next life goal, which can be planning for your child's marriage. You have to understand that again, it's a long-term goal. So are you going to invest in FD? No. Are you going to invest in debt mutual fund? Absolutely not. Liquid mutual fund? No. Then where are you going to invest? Simple. It has to go in investment in equity or equity mutual funds at least. Okay, why? Equity is a type of investment vehicle. It's a type of investment avenue which is the most suited for a longer term perspective. Okay, but what if your child's marriage is in next 1 year or in next 2 years? In that case, you have to go in for an FD or a debt mutual fund, as the case may be, because there you can't take risk. If it is a long-term goal, yes, you can surely do that. So what is a possibility? Possibility number one, like I told you right now, it can be an SIP, systematic investment plan, in some good equity mutual fund. It could be an SIP in a good index fund as well. It could be a Nifty index or a bank Nifty index or whatever is the case. By the way, these are all just examples. I'm not directly giving you some tips or something like that. Okay, only examples here. So let's start with the gold monetization scheme, which is again a very nice scheme, which is backed by the central government and which can be really useful for your child's marriage. I'll tell you 3-4 important points from this. Minimum deposit of gold should be at least 30 grams of raw gold. Now, what do you mean by raw gold? You can't have stones, some fancy necklaces which has some few again stones or something like that. That is not allowed. It has to be raw gold which has to be kept with your bank. Okay. Now, I'll tell you the procedure as well. What do you have to do? Minimum 30 grams of gold I have. Okay. I have to first visit the purity testing center. Okay, so these are again testing centers which are mentioned by the government only. I can't go to any purity testing center that I want. Government has given a list. You have to go in either of the testing centers from that list. Once I go to the purity testing center, they'll issue me a certificate. Okay, this certificate tells that okay, it's pure gold. Okay, whatever, 24 karat gold, whatever. That certificate I'll get. Now this certificate I have to take to the scheduled commercial bank, wherein I'm going to deposit my raw gold. So assume I'm depositing 30 grams of raw gold along with the purity certificate. Now the bank will ask me for how much term you're going to keep this gold with me. So bank is divided into 3 parts. It can be a short term, medium term or a long term. If I'm going to keep it for a longer term, they give me 2.5% rate of interest on the gold that I've deposited. If it's a medium term or a short term, the interest rates vary. Bank will tell you that because they vary from time to time, so it's not right for me to talk about these interest rates in the video. What is the biggest advantage? See, instead of that gold ideally lying in your house, you're depositing it with a scheduled commercial bank. Bank is giving you interest. Are you going to pay capital gain tax on that? No, because it's not a sale of gold. Had it been a sale of gold, capital gain tax would have been attracted. So I feel this is kind of a win-win situation. So if you're planning for your child's marriage, definitely gold monetization scheme can be thought of. One more last point which I would like to add is something known as a wedding insurance. Frankly speaking, when I was researching for this topic, that is when I came across this term of a wedding insurance. Now, what is this? It covers cancellation, postponement of wedding due to unforeseen circumstances. What can be an unforeseen circumstance? COVID-19. So those who had planned for their marriage in the previous year and maybe the wedding got postponed, maybe the wedding planner or the ceremony hall, they are not ready to give you back your money. In that case, what happens? in that case you will be able to avail this insurance amount. Okay, this covers your personal accident also, and it covers damage to property insured under the policy. So it's a different type of insurance. You can surely go and check out this type of insurance.